much shadow. Ooh, some padding. Ooh, some gradient. Maria, ya, ya, ya.
Hey yo, day number 3, CSS battle.dev. We got target number 3, push buttons. We're going to be pushing some buttons. Hopefully not your buttons. I improved my little layout here. I got some rounded edges. Can you see them? Where are they? They're over here. Yeah. I'm going to have some colorful graphics. Whoa, little drawing thing. Anyway, let's jump into it. I got 2 techniques for you. We're going to do radial gradient, boom, 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 making them bubbles, and then we're going to do a clip path. So it's just going to be a mixture of padding and border, and then just clipping it off at the top and the bottom to get that rectangular effect. What we're first going to do is we're going to put some padding on the HTML element. So the HTML element, of course, is going to be this color. And then once we put the padding on, it's sort of going to create the rectangle that we're looking for in our center element. Now, when we start the radial gradient, it starts at the center. So we'll say circle at 50%. You could also say circle at center. So I want it to start at the center and push it out. So once I push it out, I'll have a nice little circle right there. Now, you can't really see what I'm about to do, so I might just make it a black. We're going to start at the next stop, and we're going to keep finishing the circle at the next stop. So it's getting there, right? Then we're going to use our next color, create another stop, and it's going to go out even further. Bam, bam, bam. All right. So we see we already kind of got it going on. That's 100% match right there. I could just make a base 64 image and put it in there, and I would totally win. That's 100%. All right. So let's get into the dev side of things. I already started with a little bit of padding. I don't know how it's going to end up, but we'll work on the body element. So the body element is going to have a background of this dark navy color. That'll be the edge that we haven't built the radial gradient for. Okay, and now to define the radial gradient, it's radial-gradient. First thing we need to do is specify where it's going to start. So it's going to start at 50%. And we want our first stop to be this yellow McDonald's color. Alright, so I'd say 25 pixels. Boom. We want the next one to be 25 pixels. Yeah. But then we're going to have this navy color. So we defined the outer edge of this yellow dot. And we want to expand it with this darker navy dot. So how are we going to do that? We're going to take the navy from the edge of the yellow dot to the edge of the next circle, wherever that may be. So now that we've defined our dark navy from 25 pixels out to 75 pixels, bringing that misty mud of butter, and we want it to stop at the same value because we want it to be a hard edge, like, you ain't going nowhere, sucker. Alright. It's looking pretty good already. Oh, what can I say? Alright. Now, we want this to keep going, but we just don't know how far it should go. Seems like it's just about as wide as that dark navy sucker. There we go. Just needs to know when to stop. Bam! So we've stopped it. We've given it a hard edge and saying, no, you this color, this light navy color can't go any further. So transparent is what stops it right at 125. But it looks like our rectangle is a little bit too tall, so in order to squeeze it in just a bit, oh my goodness, it's so close, so close. That seems about right. Nice, easy peasy. All right, let's delete some of these things here just to get some nice and less character county-ish. You could probably delete all the spaces too. Oh, and you can delete the pixel values, at least for padding and like margin and that kind of stuff. But remember, padding is the y-axis first and then the x-axis. If you list all 4 values as top right, bottom left. All right, so I guess I'm gonna submit this little thing. What'd I get? 100%. Oh yeah. All right, so the next one is way crazier, and I didn't get 100% on it, but I swear it was like exactly the same. But it uses clip path, and I'll show you what I'm talking about on our drawing board here. So let me get rid of this little goofiness going on. All right. So same deal, we're going to create our HTML element with a blue background, and we're going to center the body element over top of it. Weird, right? And we'll create a circle, a yellow circle. Why? You little minion. All right, little minion circle. And then around that, since I can't get a good thing going on here. Okay, perfect. Around that, we're going to specify a border. So this already has padding and a background on it, just to give it that space that we need. So we're going to put this, we're going to put a border around it. And then around that, we're going to have another, oh man, it's going to be another color, which is going to be a light, just to show you what I mean. Can't draw over the same color. Another box shadow, and then layered underneath of that box shadow is going to be our navy color. So I got a navy color. And then the crazy part happens when we want to clip it. So we're going to clip the HTML element, and it's kind of weird. You know, if you clip the HTML element, you'd think the background would just disappear, but it doesn't. That's the trick. So when we clip it, we're going to set an origin right about here, and then we're going to clip it all the way to the right hand side. And we sort of know the values because before I set the value, the x-axis, to be 42 pixels. So I know it's 42 pixels from the edge, and so I can sort of calculate based on that. And then we're going to go from this point down below, and then we're going to go from the bottom right to the bottom left, and then automatically it'll fill in the next point. So it'll continue up back to the origin. And it's close. I would say it's pretty much the same. I'm going to submit this Johns right now. Yeah. All right. So you came here for the dev part. Let me show you the dev part. It's a little bit crazy, and I hope you like it. You know what I mean? All right. So the dev part, we got our background here. We want the body to be centered, so easiest way would be display grid, place items, center, and I believe place items, it's a shorthand for 2 properties at the same time, align items and justify content items. Oh no, please don't tell me. Okay. Now with our body element, we want to give it some room to breathe. So we're giving it some padding. HTML needs a little bit of height so it knows what to center in. Awesome. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right. Woo. We're going to round off that square. Border radius 50%. Can't go wrong with it. It'll round off any kind of square, any size. It's beautiful. All right. Now we want to put a border on it because first it's the background, then it's the border, then it's the box shadow, and beyond. All right, we'll put on a border of 50 pixels, solid navy, my navy. Perfect. All right. And then the next thing we're going to do is add in that box shadow. So the box shadow is it's the same size as that other navy element, but it's going to be this misty color. I'm going to close it off. Nothing changed. That makes sense. To separate box shadow element declarations, you just use a comma. And if those of you who don't know, for box shadow, the properties are the x-axis, the first value is the x-axis, the second value is the y-axis, the left open dot, and then the third value is the blur, the fourth value is the spread. So that's on all axes. It just spreads out like a big lump of dump, and then you got your color. You can also specify inset if you do it all before that. So inset 0, 0, 0, blah, blah, blah. And that would do the same, but just on the inside of your element. All right, so we want to just specify an arbitrary value just so that we can have enough fill for our rectangle that we're going to clip. So I want it to be this dark navy little thing. Yeah, nice. All right, so it's okay that it goes over. That'll be clipped. And to clip, let's head up to here and use clip path. Whoa. So clip path, you can do a bunch of crazy stuff with it. But we're just going to use polygon at the moment. And polygon is, you know, Porygon. Pokemon. It's got a bunch of sides. Polygon is a bunch of, oh man, oh gosh. I'm going to get so much fire in the, don't make me Google it. No, I'm not going to Google it. It's a shape with many corners, sides. Oh gosh. Okay. Anyway, we want our origin start at 0, 0 to begin with, just so we know where we're headed. And then each value is comma separated, and each set represents the x-axis and the y-axis. So here, the origin is top left. If I want to go to the right-hand side, I would set the value to 100% as for my x-axis and 0 for my y-axis. If I want to go to the bottom right, I would set the x and y to 100. If I want to go to the bottom left, I would set it to 0 and 100%. So no changes. Why? Well, we didn't really clip anything. So let's clip that sucker. Oh, I'm so excited to clip it. Okay. I remember before, oh gosh, what was it like? Our padding before was 6742. Okay, so we'll do that. We want to be 42 pixels away from the x-axis and 67 pixels away from the y-axis. So it looks a little jaunty. We'll figure it out. Might be a little bit more. So we're close. My values were off. Oh no. Don't judge me. We'll try 70. Oh. Am I high? I'm definitely high. Oh, you know? No, okay. So now that we're 70 pixels tall up here, we don't want to be this corner right around here, we want to squeeze it in a little bit. So we know the distance from the edge. will be 42. So now we've defined our origin right around here. And I want to do the same for the other side as well. So now we're sort of getting this rectangular effect that we want, which is awesome. Perfect. But we don't want to set our origin all the way at the bottom. We want to specify it to be 70 pixels from the bottom. So in order to do 70 pixels from the bottom, we can use calc again. See, it's sort of getting there. I did my 42 and my 70 are definitely off, but we're going to keep going with it just because it's easy to change in the long run. We're going to do the same thing here. We don't want it to be 100 pixels all the way at the bottom. We want it to be 70 pixels from the bottom. So, oh, it's getting there. And we also don't want to be 0 pixels from the left. We want it to be 42 pixels from the left. So I like to use pixel perfect. It's kind of a cheat, but you get to display whatever screenshot you took right on top of what you're building, which is a lifesaver for matching the comp or whatever design that you get. So pixel perfect, it's on the, I don't know what they call it these days, Google Chrome store. Don't quote me on it. But I'm just adjusting the values to make sure that I have my anchors right where I need them along this shape. I got it like just right. I know it. Oh, it's so close. It's so close. Anyway, recap, polygon. Each value or each set of values is comma delineated. It represents your x-axis and your y-axis for your origin point. So alright guys, I skipped ahead a little bit. I was adjusting the values, making sure it's absolutely perfect. To recap, clip path, it accepts a bunch of different kinds of shapes, but for this one we've used polygon. You have your x-axis, your y-axis for each set of values that are comma delineated. You got your place items. Place items is like shorthand for line items and justify items. It's part of the grid spec, and box shadow, you can comma delineate that as well. So I think we're good. I'm going to submit it. It's like, can you tell the difference? I can't tell the difference. Oh my gosh. I'm going to submit that. What'd I get? Oh yeah, baby. Okay, cool. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by. I'll have target number 4 ready for you soon. So be sure to check it out when I upload it. But thank you so much. This is very nice to have such a lovely audience. Anyway, see you guys later.